this is Team Destruction, and in this video we'll introduce you to some of the features of our robot Destructor.
Up until around 3 weeks ago, this was our design for the robot. It uses car-style steering, so a differential and a rack and pinion, and aside from electronics, it's entirely designed and 3D printed from scratch. After testing with this, the robot slowly fell apart, with plastic wearing down, so parts slipped, etc. It wasn't a very modular design, so there was no way of fixing it without reprinting the entire thing, and even then it would likely wear down quickly. So as we only had 3 weeks to go and GCSEs were another priority, we switched to designing a completely new robot. Our new robot is also entirely designed from scratch. It has 2 powered wheels in the middle of the robot and a caster, which is far more reliable and allows it to manoeuvre on the spot. It is also more modular, with all components just being press-fit with the same connector. The mass is distributed slightly towards the back, meaning it does not tip forwards, but there is still very little weight on the caster, making it less likely to catch. It is powered with a LiPo battery and a power bank for the Pi, which is below the wheels to create a lower centre of mass, and so it is more stable. This means it's generally quite robust, as shown here. Our robot can be controlled by an Xbox controller, either turning on the spot or moving forwards or backwards. For distance sensing, we're using TF Luna after we tried the VL range. We're using 4 of them, with 2 on each side facing perpendicular to the robot so it can detect angles of the walls. And we don't have one on the front because we found that wasn't required for any challenge that we were attempting autonomously. We are also attempting escape route autonomously, and the way we're doing that is by hard coding which walls should have a gap in them, waiting until they do and turning 90 degrees into the gap. For the line follower, we're attempting it as a wall follower, so what we're doing is we're using the wall at the greatest angle and following that unless one of the walls is really near, in which case we're just moving away from it. We also have a custom claw design, which is very simple but also very reliable, and while it's not removable, it can be positioned entirely under the robot. It's also very good at picking up the barrels as shown here. We also have a multi-material print of the logo on the front, with the LEDs in the eyes flashing different patterns depending on the mode, so this is for manual, this is for escape route, and this is for lava lava. We've also made a custom spike holder that uses TPU to securely grip the spike.
This is our self-made projectile firing mechanism, completely designed from scratch. Here are some final elements of its design. The rack and pinion system pulls the slide, which is held by a spring. This is connected to the stepper motor, which turns the drive gear and in turn amplifies torque output. You can see here that the slide, which is attached to the rack, cannot be pulled to its full length due to the lack of torque from the stepper. We are currently working on increasing torque, but the latest prototype works to a demonstrable extent. Once the spring is fully extruded, the servo turns the pinion bit upwards, releasing the slide and the rack. The Nerf bullet is propelled outwards by spring power, and the servo drops the pinion back down onto the rack, ready to reload. The mechanism is mounted on a rotatable joint connected to another stepper, which is then attached to the Arduino holder and the robot component connector. It only aims up and down because the robot can turn on the spot, accounting for horizontal rotation. Over the coming weeks, we will continue perfecting the attachment and practice driving our robot in preparation of the competition. And hopefully no disasters occur. See you there!